I'm Brittany Lewis, a breaking news reporter here at Forbes. Joining me now is founding member of Our Republican Legacy and former Congressman Mickey Edwards. Congressman, thank you so much for joining me.
Sure, glad to be with you.
I want to talk about the election as we sit here a little over 2 weeks after we found out the results. You were a lifelong Republican. You called the GOP a cult under Donald Trump, but Donald Trump did win a second term. What do you make of what happened?
Well, for one thing, it wasn't really about Donald Trump against against Kamala Harris. It was a run against a very unpopular administration. Joe Biden's poll numbers were about 41% favorable, right? And Kamala was running on that ticket. There were a lot of issues that people cared about that they didn't feel had been addressed well enough on the border, inflation, things like that. So it was really just, there were change elections all over the world where people were saying, we don't like what's going on. We don't know if you're to blame, but you're in charge and it's bad. So that's basically what happened.
Donald Trump overperformed in every demographic almost than his past two elections. So you don't think this is necessarily him gaining popularity, people saying, you know what, I'm converted, I like Donald Trump now. Instead, you think it's a referendum on Democrats and the current administration?
Right. Now, I think that probably now that they've had a chance to really see him, Donald Trump's probably less popular than he was. But people didn't vote against him because they didn't like his personality and all. They said, but maybe he'll solve these problems. What we're concerned about is what it costs for, the example I always heard was for eggs, but what it costs to put food on the table, what it costs to buy gasoline, what it costs to buy a house. And so people were just feeling frustrated. When you're frustrated, you turn out whoever is in and you try something different.
And Donald Trump, since he was elected, has wasted no time assembling his cabinet. I want to tick off some of the nominees and get your reaction. Here are some of the highlights. Secretary of State, Senator Marco Rubio, Attorney General, now Pam Bondi, HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., UN Ambassador Elise Stefanik, Border Czar Tom Homan, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, National Security Advisor Michael Waltz. What do you make of his cabinet as a whole here, wide glance?
Well, some of them are not. I mean, Gates is already gone now, and Pam Bondi is certainly capable of doing the job. She's been a state attorney general for a long time. I really think what Trump was trying to do, he wasn't worried so much about the capacity of these people to do the jobs. He was more concerned about, are they going to be loyal to me? He doesn't see these cabinet secretaries as policymakers. He sees them as implementers of what he wants done, and which is a big change from the way we've always looked at cabinet departments. So I'm not surprised that he picks people, for the most part. There's some good ones in there. I think Lee Zeldin will do a good job. I think Pam Bondi will do a good job. But I think mostly what he wants is he has this agenda, some of it out of Project 2025, some of it just the fact that he sees himself more as a dictator than just a normal president. And he wants people who will say, yes, sir.